If you've ever felt like modern dating is a guessing game, you're right. And as of 2026, it's officially over. A viral trend called Chalance is ending the era of playing it cool. Hinge just reported a 217% surge in searches for the term, with their relationship director calling it the hottest trend of the year. The core idea is simple. Openly showing effort and clear intentions is what now creates attraction. All those games of acting detached are finally dead. But just knowing the trend isn't enough. You have to know the exact phrases and signals that communicate this new kind of confidence. This Chalance trend is exploding. Have you felt this shift away from playing it cool? Drop a yes in the comments if you're tired of the guessing games. Because this isn't just a random social media fad. It's a massive, undeniable signal that points directly to one of the most powerful psychological triggers for female attraction. A trigger that most men will never understand. So if Chalance is the new standard, how do you do it right? It's not about trying harder. It's about what you're signaling, whether you stay warm and steady when you're close to her. Psychologists call that signal a secure attachment style. You can be close without clinging and independent without shutting down. Attachment research backs this up. In a Journal of Personality and Social Psychology study, Jeff Simpson found secure men were rated more attractive than anxious or avoidant men. From the female perspective, this is what we're screening for. Through how you text, how you handle disappointments, how you react when things don't go your way. Because it tells us whether being close to you feels safe. You don't sulk when she replies late or get cold when she cancels. You stay calm, and she thinks, he has a life, he doesn't punish me emotionally. Those moments are what create attraction because they prove your calm isn't just an act. Think of it like this. Anxious clings too tight. Avoidant pushes away. But secure is like a firm handshake, present and connected, not leaning on the other person for balance. In dating, that handshake looks like clear invitations instead of vague texts, steady responses instead of emotional swings, and giving her space without disappearing. This is the heart of Chalance, clear intent, observant presence, and real boundaries that all show you're okay either way. That's why I've turned this into a step-by-step system that teaches you how to build and signal the security in how you talk, text, and lead. I call it the Chalance Code. The Chalance Code is your 4-part blueprint. First, the foundation. This is how you set a frame and lead calmly, so she feels safe. Second, connection. This is how you build rapport by making her feel seen, so she relaxes and opens up. Third, high value. This is how you show self-respect. You don't chase approval and you're okay with outcome, which actually creates attraction for women. Finally, the close. This is how you end interactions with momentum that leads to the next. This isn't just a list of tips, it's a step-by-step system. Master these 4 parts, and you master the code. Everything starts with part 1, the foundation. Get this wrong and the rest won't work. The foundation is all about building a confident frame from your very first interaction. Rule 1. State your intent clearly. Most men think playing it cool or being ambiguous is the safe route. From the female perspective, it isn't mysterious. It's just confusing. When she gets a message like, "We should hang out sometime," her mind jumps to, "Is this a date or just friendly? Am I reading too much into this?" That mental spin pulls her out of feeling and into analysis. So instead of a vague text, you're direct. "I had a great time talking with you and I'd really like to take you out. Are you free this week?" Now she knows exactly what this is. He likes me. He's asking me on a date. I just have to decide if I want to go and when I'm free. Clarity lets her relax and actually feel the spark instead of second-guessing it. And this isn't just opinion. In studies where women responded to different kinds of invitations, clear, direct, romantic asks were rated as more confident, more attractive, because they removed uncertainty and guesswork. Treat that line as a template, not a magic sentence. The exact words don't matter. What matters is that you own your interest and say it in your natural voice. I'd like to take you on a real date. For example, same frame, different phrasing. This is you practicing secure, straightforward intent, not memorizing pickup lines. Rule 2 of code number 1, demonstrate subtle leadership. This isn't about being a controlling alpha male. It's about providing direction so she doesn't have to do all the work. Most guys either bark orders, we're doing this at this time, or go passive with, so what do you want to do? Both feel bad. One is selfish, the other quietly dumps the whole plan on her. Subtle leadership sits in the middle. You take initiative and still give her a voice. Let's grab coffee at that spot you mentioned. Does Thursday or Friday work better for you? Internally, it shifts from, now I have to plan everything, to, nice, he listened, he has a plan, I just pick what works. She feels taken care of, not taken over. This is the core of that Chalance trend we talked about. Calm, confident initiative without neediness or control. A recent Hinge report found that 84% of women are more impressed by a well-planned date than an expensive one. So when you're setting something up, focus on a simple, thoughtful plan instead of trying to impress her with cost. With these 2 rules, clear intent and subtle leadership, you've built the foundation, code number 1 of the Chalance Code. You create a strong, secure frame that signals, I know what I want, I can lead, and you're safe with me. But a beautiful frame is empty without a picture inside. You still need the layer that fills it with genuine chemistry and connection. That's where the second part of the code comes in. Now that she feels safe in your frame, it's time to make her feel seen. And we'll cover exactly how to do that next. The way you make her feel seen is through the 3rd rule of the Chalance Code. Use observant compliments. Most men default to her appearance. You're beautiful. Nice dress. It's polite, but it's generic. An observant compliment notices her inner world, how she thinks or treats people. For example, you have a really calming energy. I love the way you think about that. Or, I notice how you include everyone when you talk. That says a lot about you. You spot these by watching what she lights up about and how she behaves, not just how she looks. From the female perspective, that kind of compliment feels rare. It tells her you're emotionally present, actually observing her, not just running the same line on every woman. It also signals safety and leadership. You read the room and you read her, so she can relax and open up. The key principle: women are turned on when they feel seen, not just looked at. Neuroscience backs this up. Brain imaging studies find that when people are recognized for their personality or effort, the brain's reward and bonding systems respond more strongly than to appearance-only praise. In practice, being appreciated for who she is feels richer and more satisfying than hearing, yet again, that she has pretty eyes. The second part of building connection is Rule 4, show deep curiosity. Think of this as a simple 2-step process. Step 1, drop the boring interview questions. If you stay on what do you do and where are you from, you only collect facts. You never touch what she actually feels or cares about. Step 2, ask about her passions, learnings, or emotions. This moves the conversation from biography into story. When you ask, what's something you're working on right now that you're genuinely excited about? She has to tell you a real situation, why it matters to her, and what she feels about it. That's where real connection lives. From her side, a man who asks these kinds of questions stands out immediately. It feels like, he wants to understand my world, which makes her feel emotionally chosen, instead of just physically evaluated. In a classic 1997 study, psychologist Arthur Aron showed that pairs of strangers who answered a set of specific personal questions felt dramatically closer after less than an hour. Your question, what are you working on right now that you're excited about, sits in that same category of value-revealing prompts. It invites her to open up instead of stay on the surface. So one conversation with you can feel like you've known each other for weeks. So code number 2, connection, is built from those 2 moves. Observant compliments and deep curiosity. You're showing her you see her and that you genuinely want to know her. Now you've established safety and you've built connection. Most men stop here, thinking they've done everything right. And this is exactly when so many great guys slide into the friend zone. There is a final, crucial part of the code that separates the men she has a pleasant conversation with from the men she can't stop thinking about. Understanding this next piece is what lifts you from being a good option to being the only one that matters. And we're going to break that down right now. This is how you display genuine high value, separating you from every other nice guy. It's what makes a woman not just enjoy her time with you, but truly respect you. And it starts with the 5th rule in the code. Show emotional patience. This rule is about signaling that you're selective, emotionally steady, and not desperate. A 2011 study in psychological science looked at something called positive uncertainty. When you're not totally sure where you stand with someone, but every interaction feels warm and rewarding. That mix makes you curious and pulled in, not stressed or confused, and it actually increases attraction. In dating, emotional patience creates exactly that. She can feel you're interested, but you're not crowding her or chasing. Wrong way. The needy guy double texts after a date, demanding, "So when are you free next?" That flips her uncertainty into pressure and anxiety. Right way. The secure man says something like, "I really enjoyed getting to know you. I'm not in a rush. I want to make sure the right things align here." From the female perspective, one feels like emotional homework. The other feels like calm confidence. Your patience becomes a centering force for her. This leads directly to the 6th, and perhaps most powerful rule. Master the want, don't need mindset. It's about clearly expressing your interest while also showing your self-worth is not dependent on her approval. The powerful subcommunication is, "I want you, but I don't need you to validate me." You might say, "I like you, but I'm not trying to rush anything." That's just one way to express it, not a magic line to copy. The structure is what matters. Clear desire, zero pressure. From our side, this reads as secure attachment. You're emotionally available, but you're not clinging or trying to fast-forward intimacy to feel okay about yourself. She unconsciously registers, "He's into me, but his life doesn't revolve around me. If this works, great. If not, he'll be fine." That is the antidote to neediness. Because neediness says, "I need you to tell me I'm enough." A secure, want don't need energy quietly says, "I already know I'm enough, and I'd like you in my life." This is what a secure attachment style looks like in real life. And it's the core of non-neediness that actually creates attraction for us as women. Okay, pause for a second. This want don't need energy is powerful. It's the core of calm confidence. But there's a trap. Without this next piece, that calm confidence can be misread by her as you being emotionally unavailable, or worse, just another player. This final rule is what makes it feel real. It's what makes her feel safe. And it all comes down to a word most guys are terrified of: boundaries. Rule number 7 is to communicate healthy boundaries. Having and articulating your standards shows profound self-respect and maturity. It proves you can lead a relationship without chaos, and from the female perspective, that creates a deep sense of safety. So why are boundaries so attractive? Step by step, when you state and keep a boundary, you're showing emotional self-respect. My time and feelings matter. That self-respect makes your behavior predictable and non-chaotic. You don't explode, you don't silently resent, and you don't say yes when you mean no. Relationship psychology repeatedly links that kind of stable, self-respecting behavior with higher trust and long-term satisfaction. When a woman sees you hold a calm boundary, her body literally relaxes. She thinks, "I can be honest with this man. He's not going to punish me or disappear." That safety is what lets attraction actually deepen. Concrete example. Wrong. She cancels on you last minute for the second time and you say, "No worries, it's fine." Then keep chasing even though you feel disrespected. That reads as, I'll accept anything as long as you don't leave. Right. You reply, I get that things come up, but I don't really do repeated last-minute cancellations. Let's try again when your schedule's genuinely open. From her side, that might sting for a moment, but it instantly makes her reassess you. Okay, he has standards. Respect goes up, and so does attraction. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Something as simple as, if something feels off, I'd rather talk about it directly instead of guessing. Shows her you're a man who can handle reality. Boundaries equal emotional self-respect. And that self-respect is exactly what creates the secure masculine energy women are naturally drawn to. By following these rules, you've now established safety, built connection, and demonstrated genuine high value. You've executed the Chalance Code almost perfectly. But all of this work, all this attraction you've built, can be erased in a single moment by one common mistake most men make right at the end. There's one final piece of the code that locks it all in place. It's the move that turns a great connection into an actual first date, and understanding it is the only thing that matters now. And here it is, the final piece of the Chalance Code that locks everything in place. Rule number 4 is about how you end the conversation. Close every interaction with intention. The way you wrap up a date or a conversation matters just as much as how you start it. Most men end things with a weak, ambiguous line that creates doubt. She hears, well, yeah, I'll text you maybe. And her mind goes straight to, did I misread this? Am I just an option? Was he even interested? A man using the Chalance Code closes with confident leadership. He looks at her and says, simply and clearly, I had a great time with you. Let's do this again soon. The structure there is simple. First, you acknowledge the moment you just shared. Second, you express genuine enjoyment or appreciation. Third, you confidently suggest a next step. You can change the exact words or even do it over text, but those 3 pieces stay the same. From the female side, that kind of directness changes the whole night. Momentum-wise, she goes home already knowing there's a next, instead of replaying every detail and wondering what you meant. In terms of leadership, you're the one setting direction, which reads as, this man knows what he wants, not, he's waiting to see what I do. That and feeling chosen, that's her realizing you didn't leave it vague to keep all your options open. You looked at her and picked her. That quiets the, maybe he was just being polite spiral and lets her relax and feel excited about you, instead of guarded. This isn't just a nice-sounding idea. Research in the journal Personal Relationships has looked at how people feel right after first dates and finds that when one person clearly says they want to meet again, anxiety goes down and second dates are more likely. In plain language, clarity at the end creates momentum because it removes the guesswork. This is the move that locks in all the attraction you've built and turns a great connection into something that can actually go somewhere, not just a story about that one good date. So now you have it. The complete Chalance Code, from foundation to final close. Most men treat dating skills like a few tricks to get more matches. From the female perspective, this level of intention reads as character, clarity, steadiness, and follow-through. The real transformation starts when getting the first or second date isn't the hard part anymore, because this stops being just about dating and starts being about the kind of man you become in the process. And that's a much more interesting conversation. So let's have that conversation. The Chalance Code was never just a bag of lines. It's how you show up as a securely attached man, built on 4 pillars: foundation, your standards and mindset; connection, how you listen and ask real questions; high value, your boundaries and purpose so you're not chasing; the close, leading things forward, numbers, dates, intimacy, in a relaxed, decisive way. That's how everything in the series fits together. The real power is the long game. When you keep practicing these habits, setting clear intentions, asking real questions, holding your ground, you start to feel different. You're less anxious before dates and steadier when a stressful email hits at work. Repetition trains your brain. You prove you can handle tension without chasing, freezing, or exploding. That builds self-worth and emotional regulation. You trust your value without constant reassurance and feel emotions without losing your center. Your baseline stress drops and you're clearer under pressure, whether that's a conflict with family or a hard conversation with someone you're seeing. A 2021 longitudinal study by Johnson and colleagues found that people who built more secure communication had higher relationship satisfaction over time. Larson and Barton, 2026, showed that this kind of relationship confidence is linked with better mental health, less stress, and better sleep. So you're not just acting confident. You're changing how your system responds to connection and stress. From the female perspective, this is what creates attraction. A securely attached man doesn't just feel good on a date. He feels reliable everywhere. The calm you build by setting a boundary with a woman, without anger or over-explaining, is the same calm you bring into a hard talk with family. The presence you practice by asking deeper questions on dates is the presence women notice in meetings and friendships. You listen and can disagree without getting defensive. That's the kind of man we relax around, trust, and keep thinking about. So, start applying the Chalance Code today. Don't do it just to get the girl. Do it to become a man you respect. And if this video has given you a new tool for that journey, my ask is simple. Subscribe and share this with one other man who you think needs to hear it.